Yo, Yamamo Akwaba Shronkoso, Ebio, Edeba, POG Media. So, yes, sir. Sa afe no abaye so obe subscribe na wa like jumedi no e dia me obetimi so ahye jumedi no na afoforo enso ensa akabi. And please click on the notification bell no so Mr. wo hwe jumedi no share any notification bell no o subscribe we are adoma na down yes sir boso so ne be dodo na ensa be dey ebeka jumedi na ye the any news be out platform no so a onso wahunu de ekọ ene ne ba bia hwe free bia no ye beka say nyame onye dey onhyawo na ontre wa hyem se da bia no unya bre na ohwe ye dwumadie edemai na oma ye dwumadie no nso eye sronko na ogie tum as a number 1 eye political channel a se say ya dey yabana yenkoye nsem no so no ene Akufo-Addo ekokan eye SONA the state of nation eye address ewo eye parliament na ye de hontete ene ye dey ebrewo. You know the POG Media. We will bring you all the full details, but obviously, you be the kind of haunted who be either abroad. Now, this is what a calculation. This is a year Akufo-Addo. A year somehow the Okana when the previous a year state of a year nations address and a year a compiling and a well leaky and the Akufo-Addo be the Ebeka ewo a year parliament or the ababeto abontia just said do na yem ayde ashwom. Wa can't say me brave. What trace the value is the same. Just Akufo-Addo on be can be proper beer and no urban or baby to papa so sebi. And I say sane slogans nana oba abede ababe. Na so wow shamina I don't know. SONA no on chassis but because SONA no memen chassis mono SONA is a address bia or de babe can a year de why so SONA is different from a year the budget. So sometimes on me no SONA no obi anso ni wo no ma ye beka se wode ne nsabonkum beche na himfie kwan ana se ne krum kwan. And no obviously Akufo-Addo today will come and tell us the positive thing about a year the MPP government in the buy and why they and or more N.Addo also buy yemfa nneoma bi nto nchen wa ye nneoma nketenkete bi not everything kra na yinim said do na anya dey enkoye the negatives no away the positive no so enkoye but at least wa be ye nneoma bi ene ono so be bo ho dawuro a kire eyemra hye bedwafo ene eye Ghana for so there is a SONA. So SONA is not a budget. We should know the difference between it. So there is a little educational me pese ye nyina ye de ye peke the free ahase. So ya titi kan some be brave share expose a whole lot of things from N.Addo any SONA na oba de oba kan. So yabako na yakwa akotie ho nsensem. So subscribe, like, jumadi and share na afoforo enso ensa enkabian. Please click on the notification bell so never wadwen share under the comment section for my main court ne konkotie what is coming from a year N.Addo and a parliament abra oba kan a SONA medamase.
So yabakwa parliament mo Facebook ani mo ye TV no so nyina yabebo videos ni bi ama back to back yabo videos ni wi a enya me manum asem ne yabo N.Addo anum asem ne yabo enti yabe analyze na anum asem no chenanko na ya titi di asem bi obeka bia me de America no wa wanum asem a waka ni analyze the amount simple say asama o ka kire ye na no wa ye ya na menya bone enti ye no ano no. The last state of the nation address His Excellency N.Addo Danko Akufo-Addo ebe kan kire Ghana for no yeah eti yabehwe the okan last year say wo ma ye ne de wo mo ebe ye near the atoto ho say ampa say enti ene oba de ampa na obeka kire yen enti ya ba start akọ last year state of the nation address ni mo o kind document na obeka say Ghana mpanyimfo ho to da bi o mo kasa wi am say ya no mo rafi ba ya no mo rafi say o mo kasa wi o mo ya ne document say to say obi ankan bi. Eti the first video na ready I am fan to so na mamen kai way and from where you from the state of the nation address We live in a country in which we enjoy complete freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of assembly, freedom. Okay, can you na? Eti mami can point a ehia me ne pa. I say this is okay. Mami can free. We no so ma we no nebe boa me no mienu nyina. Message on the state of the nation by the President of the Republic, N.Addo Akufo-Addo, on Wednesday, 8th March 2023 at Parliament House, Accra. On the 8th of March last year, now International Women's Day. Do you can document na ye dia to TV no so ama no. But send you see doors no enya ni nyina na ebetimi aka. But ye wo ba bi wo mo no very important. E was ye ka ho asem. Eti ye bo video na na akirem. No ano no. Ni akoya nim. Eti e say go dey video na ready ayenko.
Yes, back then, Chief Justice Kesi and Justice of the Supreme Court, Chairperson N.Addo II, and members of the Council of State, Chief of Staff of the Office of the President, the Honorable Akusia Frima Osei Opare, and officials of the Presidency, the Chief of Defense Staff, Vice Admiral Seth Amwama, the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufo-Dampare, and the various service chiefs are all present. Mr. Speaker, the House is also duly honored by the welcome attendance of the former Presidents of the Republic, Their Excellencies John Agyekum Kufuor and John Dramani Mahama. The former First Lady, Her Excellency Nana Konadu Rawlings, and the Dean and members of the Diplomatic Corps. Mr. Speaker, it is the 8th of March today, and that means it is International Women's Day, the day set aside globally to honor all women. Please allow me to acknowledge and appreciate the significance of the day, and heartily congratulate women all over the world, and especially women in Ghana, for the role they play in realizing the dreams, cares, and aspirations of humankind and of this great nation. The presence of women leaders at both the local and national fronts have advanced rights, enhanced equality, and in general, improve the living standards and quality of lives of all concerned, including that of men. The theme for this year recognizes and celebrates women who are championing the advancement of transformative technology and digital education. Mr. Speaker, apart from my own personal fond memories as a member of this House, Parliament stands as a symbol of our democracy and its values. It stands as a reminder to all of us that our country has chosen to travel on the path of democracy, and at the heart of that journey is the idea that the government can only govern with the consent of the people. Mr. Speaker, it is important that we stress this point, because after 30 years of democratic practice, we may be tempted to take it for granted. We need to remind ourselves that our compatriots, the majority of whom are in their early adulthood, have no personal recollection of the struggles that got us to this point in our development. In the same way that only a small percentage of our population can recall life under colonial rule, similarly, the memory of dictatorship one-party rule and military rule is receding into the dim past, and the struggles that have brought us so far are disappearing into the recesses of history. However, because Parliament directly represents the citizens of our nation in this hallowed chamber, it will always be the reminder of those struggles. It is important we never forget that democracy is not a static achievement, but a process that needs continuous nurturing. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, we must remind ourselves that in our country's political history, it is the restoration of Parliament to its proper place that has always symbolized the restoration of power to the people. And dare I say that when constitutional rule is interrupted, it is Parliament that is shut down. The other arms of government continue to operate. 30 years ago, this House convened for the first time to mark the commencement. Years of the return to democracy were fraught with challenges, but the years have seen the deepening of our democratic culture to a point where a candidate of the minority side in Parliament today presides as the Speaker. This is no mean achievement. Given the way the numbers shaped up in the House after the 2020 elections, many cynics and skeptics predicted a doomsday scenario for this Parliament. But instead of a meltdown, we've witnessed considerable cooperation and unity of purpose among all parties and factions. This is to a large extent a measure of the maturity of our political culture and democracy. We will need even more of such bipartisan maturity to meet the challenges confronting us at this time. Today, we live in a country in which we enjoy complete freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, and political affiliation. Indeed, freedom of speech has now reached such heights that even members of the diplomatic corps feel able to join in our national discourse.
Baby, asamo kai nyina wakan 3 pages, almost 3 pages of asamo obekano. Yabasa akobiem. But all kasa no o make one statement bi na pese ye ka ho asem. O say amamwa na yebu no with the consent of oman no ene edibu oman no. Wonim say sa asem no ka to wona ya asem kesi a say ya pese ye digest the proper. Aya questions ya baby sagana panyufo say so anya bia omai na omuso omubu no wetia ya kwansa na omudi bu ana dia ya peso omo ye no eno na omo ye ya na aya questions was ye bisa mekwanya na mekaye the president of the land and was say amamwa na ye bu wa Ghana ha no e was ye bu amai no with the consent e was timamufo ne gi amamwa na ye bu ne tum dia wo mo beka no ene edibu oman eti anye bia o N.Addo wanima eti esu Ghana fo su nyina se oman ni mu aya den no sa concern no wote enya a mere talk of coming to say we agree so oman ni mu aya den. That one is just a statement. You make it and you go. But the first thing remains to say and come Ghana fo di ya concern na ye raise no so anya bia ba mo panyufo tia omo so mo sen omo di bu aman na ha woni de tia me ka se ensem na N.Addo kae no aya men ka le se po ya twero no abekan anya de afuro makoma mu no omo tirim no omo ade mu no omo de abeka ma yen ka se mi ntu wa Ghana fo adwen be ye omo se ya no omo na ekoba na so nye omo ne ye na ekọ. You know why? Yeah, the tax bana Ghana focus a tax way the anu ahye ntimi ntua na ya kwa bando MP so mo yare no mo matu kwa nyina de o ma sha ambulance ne flight ni ya do ma betra parliament say e kwan bi amfa so e be gya tum bi amfa so ne anyintum abra eno na ye Ghana for ye concern na ye ka no enya no mo patie it is some particular statement na N.Addo ka ye no o ka no wa ka ne keke no dia to but so wutia e say and someone can na do so ntino you not even pay attention to that particular statement that he made eti me person me bisa say ayana Ghana panyufo mu hu yensen omu bu Ghana for sen say wo mu bu yensen ya dwini so ana say omu bu yensen I don't know me person me hu say no mo dwen fa ye ho because unwa niam o mo ka ene niam o mo ya ebuebra now ti asema na N.Addo kafa inflation ho na ya hwe se sa asem na ka ye ne ye de toton na anya bia sa na ti ana bode yenko.
And I quote, Mr. Speaker, in 3 years, we have reduced inflation to its lowest level, 7.8% in January 2020, since 1992. For the first time in over 40 years, we've had a fiscal deficit below 5% of GDP for 3 years in a row. For the first time in over 20 years, the balance of trade, that is the difference between our exports and imports, has been in surplus for 3 consecutive years. Our current account deficit is shrinking, interest rates are declining, and the average annual rate of depreciation of the cedi, as it is lowest for any first-term government in the Fourth Republic. Our economic growth has rebounded to place Ghana among the fastest growing economies in the world for 3 years in a row, at an annual average of 7% GDP growth, up from 3.4% in 2016, the lowest in the last 3 decades.
May we listen in silence? It's my duty to protect our guests, and I will do so,
Mommy,
without.
Pause or one, Mommy. I'm a penny and another Kufu catch the Ghana for say for the past 30 years, not buying the inflation above from. Or we are Kasaba Kubia Yabishemi or say interest rates above from is declining. And our interest rate here saying, and I wouldn't say some no my penny Kufu the Kano 2023 no. Now you're 2017, 2018. And come on here, Bedin Sabre no. It's not make a say, oh my Ghana, state of the nation now, yes, you are Monqua Kino, and you don't know Kayo. Oh, my package, the Abbey, assume the normal de cop. Sometime now, I can say inflation about a single digit to Sabah near IMF. Sometime no.
Yo, so Uguso, I would see a POG Media at the May, Mr. We are for front no about subscribe to Media and my share now for in so answer in cabin please click on the notification button so send by any news be at a platform so on so on near echo and near eba na in some UTB really from Dr. Baumiana Enum if the fundamentals are weak the exchange rate or what expose you and no be near it's say oba na we leader na so oba na obeka ache Ghana for nioma awaje na nioma na awaye bi no eye nkontompo a oka wadwuma awaye no it will expose you by itself e be expose you ye because N.Addo can say bebre many sloganism like nioma bebre na awaye de okan but oko the grounds na it was not like that in him so by last SONA I was there like me tie so who and I say like me shebi can say me about rules I call checks near the name day na enter sa which is as a leader no any kwan so babeke kasa no because Ghana no mpo no to say enkoye na we a oba be ka de redeem your image no oba na oba be tun futuru gu ani ana che se why den wasai asem no kra che se ano ed ne pay nti no ya titi to aso my hot air details yanko ne konkoti
Ebon what's up for him any of the inflation about single digit for the past 30 years and also the foreign yes the depreciation for the history was Ghana back was some omo pencil and I said the depreciating no a gina faako Assembly boy who can we as a one to one radio be every one abanes no ye be ka se wo mu ade na so na nyame because Baobia catcher and say if your fundamentals are weak your exchange rate will expose you no Mr. Sabro from N.Addo ni refie and I'll pardon him because on not one economists na say Baobia na mo ka sa asem no kwa so na oye mate ya na N.Addo nya den it is our time now ma panyi be catcher Ghana for say inflation wo mo no matimi diaba for the past 30 years no na ye IMF ya call ye no e wonsunsu aso na no kan kire ye no. It is our time now 2023 tibia ni o anana 2022 obe kai 2017 2018 esunsaso a ebaye e de kire ye 2023 ya Ghana tibia because 2023 no anya bia Ghana for ne nyina ye ne kurom ha ni ani se de economy ne na tie okwa obisi sesei me pase wutie video we afena me ba be di nkomo yie o this particular video and na ma me be di nkomo ni yie producer wrote the video
onua honorable members it's not yet your time to say wait until that time arrives please honorable members I will allow spontaneous reaction to statements, but I will not allow debate of the statement. Your Excellency, you may proceed.
It is worth noting that the debts we're serving were not only contracted during the period of this administration. Mr. Speaker, we have spent money on things that are urgent, to build roads and bridges and schools, to train our young people and equip them to face a competitive world. Considering the amount of work that still needs to be done on the state of our roads, the bridges that have to be built, considering the number of classrooms that need to be built, the furniture and equipment needs at all stages of equipment, of education, considering the number of children who should be in school and are not, considering the number of towns and villages that still Considering the number of towns and villages that still do not have access to potable water, I dare say no one can suggest we have overborrowed or spent recklessly. Yes.
Medase. I someone N.Addo beka yina hana mo issue. Di N.Addo beka yina hana mo issue. Ose bosia na wo mabobo no. Yentimi kan kiro mo so mabobosia recklessly. Just wo mabobosia na nyansanim. Because na wose ya kwan, wose ya bridge, wose ya school dan. Oh, eniama dia wakeka bi pa. Anya bia o. Person bisa na N.Addo say. Omo gususu say project ya starting no 20 say Dwamahama pencil yan complete ye no. Eno na ewo sika nkaposia no ho ana. Because I can tell you on record to say projects that work from Hanoma ya started from scratch. Yeah we no. Me sure nyame na meka. Me nya sure say ebebru 1000. Na me so kra dey say bunu na mkike. 1000 how dey jam yare. Onuya. Wow, diama sa particular some way e bo me dam ne say. Sa afari hospital no e ka hi na ban hia no dia bia ya sabia no sa ban se wo akwa bobo sia no dia ba hospital ni akwan After the hospital, I hear now, by here. Now, what the idea is, Sabiano. But you see, the mentality here is that I end this in a year, me conquer not drama ham and J credit. Forget and say, Sikana drama ham and Duquasi, or now Thomas Sikabo Mom Duquasi, Afarino, and your Bussia, your Gusutio. I am the bottom sky, and your Bussia. What catch like a Bussia now, Wubano? What do you acquire? I'm paying me patrol. Mimi Crum, so now the Crum, Jama enough, you won't quote her.
Fellow Ghanaians.
Entity, you are somebody Sikane.
Yes, I've been in a hurry to get things done. And this includes massive developments in agriculture, education, health, irrigation, roads, ports, airports, sea defense, digitization, social protection programs, industrialization, and tourism. We can be justifiably proud of the many things that we have managed to do in the past 6 years. As I go around the country, I hear the pleas for more roads, schools, hospitals. And as the rainy season comes, I wish, as every other Ghanaian does, that we would have built more drains than we have. And I wish we had the resources to do more. And Mr. Speaker, I'm proud of the amount of work that we have done, especially in the road sector.
Road sector benya. Chebi diana na asa de he. Emi say na say N.Addo na dwen so smart pa o. Na dwen so smart pa nti nsem no bi ho be ka onim say asem no ka de to awie anu ano no. Oso o mo di sika ne ye den. O mo di akwan. O mo di bi ye den school dan. Ana o mo di bi so ye den. Port. Sea defense no way.
Onuya. Bibini.
Mutu mani pare ho.
Bibini e nipa o.
Eti wunim Ghana for the point is that Busia na your boy no. Si abo Busia 1 million wa. Emu 800,000 ye di. Eni ade emu 200 pay ye adwuma. Eti Busia no dia ya bo. Ba adwuma bie ni wa ye de ye. Ya fanya hu mami ka bibi cho sabusia na N.Addo se wa bono se ko de sabusia na ya adwuma mpa aka de ewo mu ni si asamo ya ti hai obia fofo na sisa ya kwan ya start ya titu ni kokko rose no amoma yo ya nto aso me bisa na N.Addo eno na nkabosia na omkọ boy no homo eno kwa de sa kokko rose no ma pa wu sika ma ho contract eni aba ni ase ya auditing eni pam contractors na free site ya wi awunim sika ya se ya de kwa ya auditing ne keke na ya kwa wi anka tam na contract we ya de masen ya wi ani abro 10 million
Onia ma chi o
nka ta na ya kwa hwem keke say contract na mo se mo de ama no ye ma ne sai no consulting na behwe ni ye ni atwom 10 million ye
Onuya ya dwene mu wo
what dia see a video we ma hey
Mr. Speaker, I'm proud of the amount of work that we have done, especially in the road sector. Roads constitute the largest number of questions asked in this House by members of Parliament. A large amount of the monies we borrow are for road construction. Shall we dare stop constructing roads? Mr. Speaker, I would like to state categorically that this government has built more roads than any government in the history of the Fourth Republic.
But so mimi krom yenye kwan wo krom ama ya mama yehu simple because mimi krom yenye na busia bebrebe ya boy anya hwe kra no from Wenchi to Sampa kwan de wo de anya hwe kra se nya asphalt kra no mbegu a e wose komotwa kwan no so e kra no te se de tie na sa kwan no mekai sakofuo ena de ma contract omo ye kwan ni kwasi di baby e wa na kwan kai de akofo ye kwasi di baby no kra no asa tutu udu wa hu se kota re kra fa so da enti efri Wenchi kwasi Sampa bomb from Sampa to Kokwa bomb from Brekum drobo de ba Sampa bomb nti akwan no me nya do am krom e bia wo de apart from Chabi wo de ye Chabi mfrim was wo de anim say paradise e wo so e Ghana nya hwe o makwa ye nya hwe Ghana fo na wo ho ba me krom ye nya bi menim sa wo so krom ya wanya bia because what your reporter ye nya wa ha ena ye krom kwan ye tutuo na krofo demonstration eti akwan na mudi ahe na N.Addo se waye no
enu na ment ya se ena medu
se o paso Ghana for ye ti ase se bosia na wa bo no wo de ye kwan
Fellow Ghanaians,
e kwan so ye hu eti obi ka se bosia na ma bo no madia we kwan nya obi na beka me say
I shall protect the public.
bosia no madi. And that's the reason why ya bosia no yentimi ntua no because obo bosia na udia one find your investment sika no be da tia
ojai
that's the reason why ya wo ya individual kwa no eyi chase eyi ya kan say Mr. Peter wo gira he no akwaje bosia e wo bank wo ba ya o si Jude wai Abraham wai oh Director Antaro Mr. Chuwai kaka be sam ho e na ya party
gwen
ukwaji sika no so de kwa akoye adwuma o
bibini
uji sika no na wo de emu 60% wi wanum
bibini
anya bia 40 na aka na adwuma be na wo betimi de aye na wo de akotua aka no atua nsi hu so you see your problem ne say Ghana yaka no anya bosia no na yentimi ntua o ensi hu na ensi hu no kra yentimi ntua enti aka na kasa da ho twaye sa that service no anu na eka no si hu ensi hu no kra yentimi ntua enti aka na kasa de ya ba ne pada lo na kasa na ya kwaje ye no
onua
ya ba ne pada e da ho twaye ensi hu na e ho ho no enu ni yentimi ntua no
gwen
na N.Addo se bosi oboy o de ye kwan
I shall protect the public purse.
MP bia ne be kasa bia o ye opposition MP bia was ye kwan ye dami krom se ye de ma contract do ma ha ma pen so a ya ntoa so etiemu de ahe na N.Addo se wa ye yi mesi de mimi ndi na chinye wo ho chebi cause ho de anya hwe mi twam na me du osino ana me du ba bia N.Addo junction no e wona me hu se kwan ye kɔ ho nyina otumi sampa e kwan ne ye guy hu se asfalt nie
captain smart onua
e kwan papa asfalt emu apie ye gu ne fine e kwan na be che ye gu agu samampom nyina me eno nya me case because e ka Ghana for na te ho but me problem dey say yentimi concentrate wo baby baako na yemfa nka wo mamu ni nyina se ya kwan Abraham ka say major road wo constituency bi na kwa district bi mu a major road a ewo ho kra no ewu ko tareda na gambe sa ka asphalt na ya me ya say ba wo miantimi ma kira Ghana for concrete road na wa ye no ana no so makabone also be concrete roads ebia concrete roads ni aye bi wa ha sem hunu kura bata ho ne say tema kwan tema motorway no kura concrete no concrete na tutu no ye nyansa bruce nti ne ade ayiko talent tem e kwa na ye concrete no atutu no ne ade ko tare tete concrete nim na se de atutu kra na wose ade concrete ankasa ko fele no ye atimi anye a full concrete road e de betimi ayemboa
onua
anapa be se be bisa na N.Addo da kwa kufa do se eti ana ba wo be dem pa no wo be ka kire yin
Fellow Ghanaians,
den no ho biem hwidi ho bosia no yabo yedi afa anya hwe ana na ese na N.Addo anchata private jet biem ana chata na te ne yente o chata so anki yebete sikanasa tama na sikane wo yakobo bosia no yaji euro bond no na ba na Bank of Ghana account mo yakona ya chata flight na ne dia besi airport ya ntim su na redi na egu account mu wana wa bia 14,000 pounds ni etua ye ni chata flight na ya di nam wiem aya kwaka yeso national security budget de yanka wasam mese sa plane wasam monko bisa national security we boss monko bisa we boss monko bisa we eti besi na ehun kuntabuo si wantan yantimi anka
ageta
ni nyina ka bosia no ho
gwen
na akwa bosia edi chata plane emfaso bi ama so wa fa investor kra makrom ha wo de kwa chere na asan baaye
ko bo ado ka unsu ye wure
bosia ne be do tia ankoye adwuma bia ye de kwa wi yanum
gwen
eti anya bia ende no wonim expectation me expect free na N.Addo ho ne say Ghana fo eka se ya ne ye de eka ye de ye 1 cedi eka ne ye ntimi ntua eka ne da ho twen ye that is the real
191 oh ya ntua
o man no eka potin ye de na wasi ye hu you see N.Addo some kan no 2023 nyina wa me ye hu ye ka ye di o
onua
yenim ka ye de etu busan ba no mo bugum yenim the actual figure yenim ka potin ye de but yenim say ya boka ma ye ka ne yentimi ntua
gwen
ya ntua
we okobisa obisi ai ada na da bia mo ba na N.Addo achi ada na da bia mo kana N.Addo asem aho me ka wan asem me gira ha sisi ye se Joma Hama na opesa me ka na asem a anya bia me tasiri me tua kwa JM ho
enu na menti ase ena me
because enu na wo MPP ni na wo fie na opesa otie ada na wo kana N.Addo asem na wo ka Joma Hama asem
gwen
wa ba ye bia ye nyansa na ye adwuma kopem Abraham ejina hey ya teme taxa e ko na N.Addo ho ane ayi ya kan say ne foreign finance minister kan oforiata and domestic finance minister ayi ya kan say ami andam ane Sadison hooligan man sa crofo no ene say sika ne ko no ho ayi Bawumia mate amuna hwe sika ne so amuna wo sare na anopa na ya ba adwuma yani na se na N.Addo kaso won twa aka Joma Hama ontimi nya hwe. That's the difference. Eti me kwaka Joma Hama se ma me kana asem say matio taxi bia man na me kwaka na asem na. And you see for the past 8 years, you go 8 years, you still want to talk about JM. You are a failure. If you still talk about JM for 8 years, you are a total failure. Because the pana ya se wa born na wonu nti ya pom na free ho no. Wo da so born dey for 8 years.
gwen
Wo da so born sa ni panidi.
Nana Boachi to remove the third.
Me say wan kasa kura wonim dia wo pese o kire.
Yo, yedamase, bio, yebedamase, bio, nyame insha se waji bre, na wahwe dwumadie no aba abedru sei, dwumadie no pompon so ni. So when the SONA no, aeba no, life and color, like everything ebe bro, or ye every analysis about it biano, obenya no ewo POG Media, and him before, and or more, any titri for. eba abetro madwene ewo dwumadi oni nyina e POG media ene ye this live coverage no be dey ebe bro ye this dwumadi no ho popo ye nyina be dey ebe bro so Mr. Stay tuned na etie your stories no utie na nyoma bi wa ye na se ebia enso wani a stress o de be dey o de betu ye nim na edwumadi no nso ayefe so and we are all waiting for what the president will come and see. The obeba beka acheye Ghana for near ode Ghana akuduru near ode Ghana de eko and your power ye ediama Ghana na ene so bana intro bi woma menu mienu ye be dey ye beto action because ene bibia be and the media don't lie, you post it yen so ye befa na ya analyzing ede amamo so medem besia makramo nyame shao bye.